and thus all of the problems are laid bare. When Singularity score, it's individual efforts, and you don't really get many of those in the current meta of Rocket League.
Well, I mean, it's not too surprising. They've got some big, I would say some big egos on that team. Of course, Scrub Killer being one of the biggest egos and being known for egoing the passes more than he should. And that goal conversion ratio, I mean, really is all telling that those single player plays, those solo plays, just don't work the way they used to. You've got to have a little bit something special to work a defense, and it is Giants working at that Singularity defense early into the game here. First 30 seconds of Giants putting on the pressure.
I will say though, in favor of egos, sometimes a bit of confidence can do you the world of good, and these two in particular need confidence in this series. Breezy, a lovely find to Hibbs, commits stake, follows in, gets that follow-up shot, and although Itachi gets a piece of it, it is Singularity that take the lead through an assisted goal, no less. They'll be hoping for a lot more of that over the coming half an hour.
Oh, well, they only have you to thank, because that you were giving the advice. They're probably listening in, and they're going, oh, good point. Maybe we should try and knock the ball about a bit more. Look at that. 1-0 for Singularity, and it is Scrub Killer on the attack, playing that to the backboard. Hibbs just lurking in that danger zone. Itachi and Samurai trying to pinch that away. Double commit coming out from Giants, and maybe they're still a little rattled after losing that game 5, because since now they've conceded, they're looking a little static at the back. It's looking a little awkward. Finding themselves a bit close to each other, a bit hesitant. They try to get it downfield, but Itachi leaving a big gap between him and his teammate. Samurai now rushing back to parry that to the backboard, and Hibbs will get that shot on target. No goal though, and Singularity though still asking all the questions.
Yeah, there's a very open game actually. Both teams have had good chances here. But ultimately, Singularity are the ones that have put the chances away in a turn-up for the books. It is a second assisted goal. It's Breezy and Hibbs again. And what about this for a redirect? Zamway, despite rushing into the goal, couldn't reach it in time. And it's 2-0 Singularity. Maybe Giants are a bit tired, Aiden. That is a potential course of action here that we've got to consider, because Singularity have been sitting on their chairs for the good part of 30 minutes or so waiting for this matchup, but never count out Vodafone Giants. Beautiful placement from Stake. 2 players in net couldn't stop it, and it is back to a 1-goal game.
Well, I think it's always the case. You can't read too much into game 1, especially the early moments, because this is the moment where two teams are going to try and figure each other out. What play style are they entering in with, and how much are they showing? And clearly Singularity have come in all guns blazing. Giants maybe just a little caught out in the early game. They do get a goal back now, though, so we'll keep it to just a 1-goal game with 3 minutes left on the clock and plenty to look forward to. I think that's a massive pinch. That way, chasing it down, just breathing down the neck of Breezy. But, of course, Breezy keeping it away, but he's not cleared it. And it's looking dangerous. The Stake plays in the back, but Samway's there again. Blocked by Hibbs to deny Giants equalising. But Giants seem to be the more dangerous team at the moment since getting a goal back in the game. It will come all the way back down to their own half, but Stake not really challenged. Scrub Killer and Breezy both backing away, looking very hesitant at the back for Singularity. Samurai searching for the corner to follow it up, puts Breezy under a bit of pressure. Stake underneath, looking for the centre. Scrub Killer up early for the challenge, and now Itachi to take over. And it will be Hibbs to clear the danger and relieve that pressure for the time being.
Vodafone offense very much looking like a storm right now, circling around that blue goal mouth, but with no goal to show as of yet. Almost stuck underneath the crossbar. It's another well-placed shot by Stake, again hitting woodwork. Ultimately, though, if they got no goal to show for it, it's all flash and no circumstance. Breezy gets a nice little block of the midfield there. His Zamway picks up the boost, prioritizes it, and allows Scrub a free shot back into the midfield. It's Hibbs and Zamway now. Nice hard hit, but it's straight to Scrub Killer, right place. Stake gets there first into the midfield again. Breezy can't get the block. Hibbs picks up the pieces. Itachi up high now. Gets that touch, gets it to Stake, finds Zamway maybe. No, Breezy gets there first. Such a quick, fast, ferocious game here, and this will suit the Vodafone Giants all the more. Stake, backboard, Zamway lurking, but Stake went for it on his own, and he maybe should have had a call from Zamway. It was on a plate, but with 1 minute 20 left, it's still Singularity 2-1.
I think Stake had already pictured it in his head. He had seen it in his mind. That was the double tap. That was the way to equalise. But indeed, the call from Zamway, he looked the better option. Well poised there in the danger zone. And that's an opportunity missed. Giants, though, have been well in control since they found a goal back. Some of the passes a little wayward. They're still struggling to find each other the way they'd like to. And the awareness not fully there, but they are challenging Singularity. Singularity doing very well, though, to keep this one goal lead. Hold on to it. Hibs, though, to play it over Zamway. And we will look to get it on target. He slips it in. Well, he's pulled out his protractor, and he's taught us a little bit of the Pythagoras theorem here. Back to school we go, as Hibs scores from a ridiculous angle.
He's pulled up his nice button-up shirt as well and has shown off the muscles, flexing Hibs. Goodness me, what a nerve settler for Singularity that is as well. To do that to two players of Giants quality and to make sure that that 2-goal lead is re-established. Out of this fixture, there's been 5 of them. Giants does have the advantage 3-2, but there has only ever been one series between these two teams, which has seen no games won by either of the two teams. That was a 3-0 sweep drubbing of Singularity all the way back in the full split, in the grid. Well, they could be rest assured, Singularity, that they will not be going home without one win on the board today. It is 3-1. Unless there is one last goal, I don't think it's going to come, though. It goes all the way down the other side of the pitch. It touches the grass at last. Singularity take the lead in this series, and deservedly so as well, Aiden. They looked convinced. They were finding each other with some great passes. I think it speaks volumes that Scrubkiller was honestly the most quiet out of that entire team. Hibs and Breezy coming to the party, showing why they are RLCS players.
I mean, absolutely. I've seen Singularity. They came out the gates firing, and that first minute and a half, they were by far the stronger team. Vodafone Giants, I think, taken by surprise. And of course, Giants coming off the back of a 5-game series against Oxygen, and they looked a little fatigued and maybe not ready to and not adapting quickly enough to Singularity. Singularity having that time between series to, maybe vibe a little bit in free play and talk about their upcoming opponent and who they may be going up against to adjust mentally already. Whereas Giants have to do that immediately in the game one. Giants, though, having good periods of the game. They did control it at times, and there was a good minute in which they piled on the pressure and really looked dangerous. And somehow it was that when that third goal came for Singularity, it was really against the run of play. And it will be interesting to see how this develops into the series in this game too now, with Giants, seemingly have found some way through Singularity, just not converting. Singularity, of course, holding on to this momentum with that 3-1 win.
They are indeed. Oh my goodness me. Snake trying to sneak it in near post. Scrubkiller gets a vital touch, but this is a great start from Vodafone Giant. Finally, a misconnection allows Singularity to breathe a sigh of relief. Zamway out into the middle, straight to Hibs. He gets demoed for his troubles, but Scrubkiller still lurking. Was looking for the pass back to Breezy. Itachi nicks it off him. Itachi straight with the shot on target. Hibs forced into a save now. His stake, another misconnection. A challenge 1 is going to fall to Breezy's front bumper. Itachi, the touch to the side. He's not going to get another block, actually. Stake's going to take over from here. Infield, Zamway finds him, looking for the touch off the backboard, but dealt with nicely by Hibs. It is a much better start for the Vodafone Giants here, Aiden, but that all said and done, still no goal for them. Singularity holding strong.
Well, he talked about shooting percentages, and it was Singularity who had the lack of goals for shots taken. But it seems to be Giants at the moment that are putting shots on, creating opportunities, but that final product, that end product, seems to go missing. And, well, Zamway, usually the one that is firing, been a little quiet so far. I would say that at times. Comms just missing for Giants. Opportunities wasted. But they are really causing some havoc at the moment at the back. And State looking for Zamway. Just couldn't find him. Cut out. Well defended by Singularity. They saw the pass happening. They cut it out. Made sure the attack couldn't be completed. But now State down to Zamway. Zamway misses. Itachi doesn't want to go. A bit of hesitation. Didn't want to take that risk as third man. But that's another opportunity for Giants, but they just couldn't finish. And once again, they come close. And you're wondering how Singularity are holding on to this 0-0.
I am wondering. I want answers, Aiden. I want answers now. still they hold on. What a defensive effort here from Singularity. It just keeps on coming to the Vodafone Giant wave. Happens, but still no goal, and Scrub Killer allowed to finally break away. He loses possession though. Really not great from Scrub Killer, and this is surely it. Finally, at almost the halfway mark, Vodafone Giants break through, and Hibbs with no boost gets caught, as every ranked player will do at some point, on that little lip at the bottom of the post. It's 1-0 Giants, and deservedly so.
Oh, it was a long time coming. 9 shots in that first half of the game. The Singularity's 0. Singularity did, however, save 5 of those 9, but one of them finally went in. And I mean, if you're Giants, you're probably getting a bit nervous. You're thinking, well, when is one of these going to go in? Because if it doesn't, we're going to get caught on the break at some point. They do finally get that goal. Might settle the nerves a bit, but they've got to remember, it's only 1 goal. They still need to hold on to that momentum. They need to keep playing the same way they did. They've got a picture. It's still 0-0 in their heads. They can't afford to get caught out, as Breezy will send this one downfield, looking to chase, but Zamway gets back in time. Scrub Killer's unable to take it away from Zamway. This midfield still being contested well by Giants. The Stake will keep this one close for the slow play, but Breezy, fantastic dunk from him. And Singularity, now they are a goal down. They need to start piling players forward to look for opportunities in front of the Giants net. They're looking for them. They're not finding them just yet.
To allay some of your fears, Aiden, when it comes to potential Giants complacency, they're one of the premier Spanish teams. Attacking is the only way that they know. And with 90 seconds left, they know that Singularity showed a lot of courage and a lot of great plays in game number 1. And if they find even just one of those, then it only takes 1 shot on target to tie up the game. As it stands though, Itachi puts one straight back in, and it's back on the defense for Singularity. Breezy chases after this. Itachi gets it over him. Hibbs takes over, booms it to the backboard. Stake's going to get there first, but it's a double commit on the backboard, and Itachi forced to go up, expend some boost. Singularity needs to pile on the pressure now, but Zamway again getting there first. Infield pass, Hibbs there. He gets it past one, but it also goes wayward and straight into the hands of Itachi, who's got a full boost tank ready to go. He brings it down, and now Hibbs is on the scene. It's backboard again. Another great touch by Zamway, and they are defending just as well as Singularity did in that first 2.5 minutes. But the question is, are we going to see that great aggression from Singularity that we saw from the Giants? Well, with 30 seconds left, they certainly don't have much time.
Well, you can see Singularity, they're getting a bit more awkward in their positioning in the midfield, and it seems like every touch they do take is for the sake of hitting the ball. They're hitting it as hard as they can, just towards the Giants' side. Not really any calculated play, but that there could have been it. Hibbs getting that bump on the net, but now the breakaway. Zamway's there, the nail in the coffin. Game 2 well and truly going to be Giants, and Zamway doubling the lead.
And that was to be expected from Singularity. 10 seconds left, you got a Hail Mary. And when you Hail Mary, you got to be prepared for the consequences. Zamway with a tap-in, a 2-0 advantage for the Giants. And, well, to be fair, if it hasn't been apparent over the course of this game, well, Giants more than deserving of biting their way back into this series. And what a sizable chunk it was as well that they took off Singularity. From looking well in control and scoring multiple goals to being shut out in game number 2. This is more of the Giants that we expected to see. This is, ironically enough, more of the Singularity that we expected to see. Has the status quo been restored, though, Aiden? I'm not entirely sure. Tie series.
It's 1-1 in the series, and status quo, has it been restored? Not quite. I would say that Giants still have a lot more to show. And given the fact that they did create as many opportunities they did and only scored 2 goals, it is saying something, one, about Singularity seemingly knowing how to defend, or is it that Giants just aren't doing enough? They're not accurate enough. And you did see a lot of these plays that were very, very close, but they just weren't quite enough. And I think there was some of the things that maybe a bit rushed. They were maybe desperate to find that first goal in the game. Once they found it, you saw they had calmed down a little bit. Singularity, though, were invited to attack a bit more, but Singularity came with a lot of these sort of random hits where it was like, okay, we get the ball in the midfield, we don't want it to come into our half, so let's just hit it towards Giants. The problem with that is that Giants keep getting the ball back, and then they come with a calculated passing play into the Singularity half. That's how they found the second, and if Vodafone Giants do continue in that manner and allow Singularity to just keep handing over possession, it's going to be tough for Singularity.
The crucial thing for me here, Aiden, is pretty simple. Clean sheet for Vodafone Giants. no clean sheet for Singularity. And once again, it's that lack of goals which came back to bite them. Only 3 shots on target for Singularity over the entire 5 minutes. Doesn't look pretty whatsoever for them. In fact, it looks pretty dismal. And although you've got to say, okay, well, Giants controlled the midfield and they cancelled out those opportunities which were seeing Hibbs and Breezy have so much joy in and around the middle of the field, you still got to say more's got to come from them. You know, if you want to progress in the lower bracket, you got to show some fight, you got to show some determination, and you got to get those scrappy goals. And none of them came, and it never looked like it was coming either. And so into game 3, Giants most certainly the favourites, most certainly looking the better of the two sides. But a breakaway here for Scrub Killer. He's not got much boost in his wagon, but he does get the demo, save the last one back. Oh, that's a lovely pass, and that is a lovely goal. Hibbs and Breezy connect again, 1-0 Singularity.
Well, you know what? That demo from Itachi on Scrub actually kind of made it a bit awkward in defense. And for Steak, as he sort of had to boost back down because he'd already pre-jumped the flick. And that left him sort of a bit out of the play. And then the play came back and Itachi was again out of position. A fantastic pass. Great way for Singularity to take the lead. What you were saying earlier, though, is that Singularity, the goals weren't coming thick and fast enough. That was very close from Steak off the post. Vodafone Giants, win or lose, they're a team that like to score a lot of goals. And if you're not trying to outscore them, well, Giants will probably be the one to outscore you. You can't just rely on defense because they will find a way through. That's what we've seen in both game 1 and 2. But right now, it is Singularity with the 1-goal lead. Itachi in the midfield, 2 Steak. Scrub Killer, though, he should be able to deal with this one quite comfortably. He gets it, not quite past 2. Itachi to follow again. Heads and clear. A little bit open at the back. Scrub Killer trying to close down that space, will do so. Goes back in the middle again, and it's looking awkward at the back. Hibbs with the save. Somewhere you got to pop that. Itachi to follow. Beautiful. It's on target. What a save from Breezy. Keeps it out, and Singularity holding on to this 1-goal lead.
We can say what we want about the Singularity offense. You can only applaud their defense today. Lovely pass from Scrub Killer, finds Breezy on the sidewall, round the corner, but the defense is back in place for the Giants. I've had the pleasure of commentating on this team since, back in the RCD Espanol days, back in the Tox era, back in the Rival Series era. And they are a team that has always loved to play, but if there's one thing you can't separate from this team, it's Game 5s. And they love them. They always love them. Every single time they go to a Game 5, you've got to put them as favourites. And so even if this does get dragged the full distance, we know that Vodafone Giants have it in them to break Singularity hearts. Singularity hearts, which right now are full, are happy, are delighted, because their team has got 2 minutes left to hold on to a 1-0 lead. And even better than that, they are pressuring forward. They're trying to find ways out of their own half, despite the really good chokehold that Giants are trying to put on them. This is Singularity back to their best, back to their Game 1 best. And we love to see that. This is a team that struggles for form. Maybe they've found the key ingredients.
Yeah, another great save from Hibbs. The deny Itachi was coming at speed. Steak gets up very close, and again, the shooting percentages for Giants. It's the crossbar again and again and again. They're putting shots on, but they're not putting them in, and time slowly ticking down. 1.5 minutes to go. We know that's plenty of time. Rocketing Itachi with the flip reset, gets it past Scrub. Breezy, well poised, gets the catch, and fortunately so, because Hibbs was very close behind him. He'd beaten, got round 1, it would have maybe got round both. Itachi now to the backboard again with speed. Zamaway gonna just leave that one for Steak, because he's got a bit better space, and Hibbs again is gonna cut this out. Singularity, they just don't seem to be allowing Giants any room to move in their half. As soon as they come into the Singularity half, Singularity are pouncing on them, closing them down quickly. And Giants just haven't been able to string these passes together. And, well, with a minute left, you're thinking Singularity still looking good for them here in Game 3.
For all that flurry in the opening minute or so, Vodafone Giants, they've had their chances, but they got to do better. They know they got to do better. They've gotten past the Singularity defense before, just 5 minutes ago, but for whatever reason, it's now come to a bit of a halt. And again, it's that midfield battle which has swung the other way, the pendulum moving in favor of Singularity. Can Steak break the deadlock? No, Scrub Killer stands strong. Zamway You see Stake in field. He at least wins the challenge over Hibbs. What a pass to Itachi, but he's in a bad place to get a good shot off, and it very much rolls over Zamway, that ball. He at least gets back. He at least gets it into the blue half again. He's not got much boost. He tries to go in field. He tries to stop it with Scrub Killer. Stake goes up for Itachi. He can only keep it upward, though, not towards the net in any way. And that is Singularity back in the driver's seat, Aiden. 2-1 in the series. They're on to match point. And they do have a clean sheet of their own. 1 goal is all they needed. Much more constricted chances overall for both sides. It worked in Singularity's favor, though.
Yeah, it's starting to look like a repeat of the Giants' previous series against Oxygen. They are down their opponent on match point, and they need to win 2 games back-to-back if they want to take the series. They couldn't do that against Oxygen. I know you were mentioning earlier they're good in the Game 5s, but perhaps today is not their day. And to be honest, I was surprised already when I saw Giants come down into the loser bracket. And I thought I expected Oxygen to see that. I was watching that game and I thought, this is Oxygen playing some boring Rocket League. There wasn't a lot happening, but I actually think this might be Giants' issue today. They don't seem to be able to get that ball into the middle, into the danger zone. They're struggling. They get caught out on the side and they're not finding any inroads. And it seems to be Singularity doing a great job here, as Oxygen seem to have done in the previous series Giants played. They're just not giving them the space in the middle. Right now, it's match game 4. This best of 5 with Singularity up on the match point. They just need 1 more win to maybe see Giants as the first team out.
I'm going to be honest with you, Aiden. This might very well feel like a Giants issue because it's a clash of styles. Now, that was A, a very good effort for Itachi, but also B, Oxygen do well when they play simple. Yes, they've got that star factor in Astral, and that's another good shot, but again, they're straight shots at net. What Vodafone Giants rely on generally when it comes to their style of play is that teams are going to be as expansive as they are, that they're going to match the pace that they go at, and that's why Singularity struggled to cope with them when they did go ahead. They got faster and faster and faster, and Singularity couldn't touch them. But if the other team's ahead, and if they start to turtle up, if they start to go all defensive, Vodafone Giants don't tend to have an answer through that because their goals come through pace. And if they don't come through pace, then often they don't come at all. And so here we are in a situation again where it's 0-0. Singularity quite happy to hold on to as much of the ball as they want. They've had some decent opportunities from Giants, batted away. It's been decent defense, as we have seen from Singularity throughout pretty much the entirety of this series. And it almost has a Game 5 element to it, Aiden. It almost has a Game 5 element, because I think if it does go to Game 5, then they will start to panic. If it doesn't go to Game 5, well then Singularity have won. It's as simple as that, and Vodafone Giants don't have to be worried about ever again.
Well, some classic points that you do make. And, we were talking earlier about how Singularity like the solo plays, and that's allowing them to keep 2 men back, and say about teams turtling up, and that's what Vodafone Giants struggle with. Could very well be the bogey at the moment. And then Scrub Killer on the attack, chasing Stake down. Stake will keep this one close. And he get it round Hibbs. No, Hibbs going to get the dunk. It's on target, not quite. And Itachi, he looked beaten. It also was on the wrong side of that post. Giants struggling to, again, find the net. Had the chances. Few shots early game. But now Singularity making things difficult. The double commit coming out. Scrub Killer, though, hesitant from him. Only thought Breezy had this one. A bit of a breakdown of communication, but Singularity staying with the play. Here's again, denying Giants the outroad, outer defense. And they will get a lucky bounce. Itachi onto the end of it with the double tap down to the backboard. Stakes there. Oh! It's off the post again. And the finishing is just not there today for Giants. The pass out from Itachi to Zamaway. Play behind him. And is this going to be another attack that breaks down? Can Stake find a way through the double to get it past Stake? Itachi's there. Great save by Scrub Killer. And Breezy going to keep this one close to play it out. 2 minutes left on the clock, and Giants yet to find a goal. Not for a lack of trying. They've had the opportunities, but they just haven't had that final product. Again and again and again, they're going to be asking, how have we not scored here? 0-0, 1.5 minutes remaining.
It almost feels like astrology is against them at this point, Vodafone Giants. How have they not scored a goal? Itachi It's again an aimless ball up to the backboard. They're feeding on scraps right now. They do have good moments, but Singularity have defended. And Itachi there with a lovely ball back into the midfield. Breezy is going to put it up to the sidewall. He's going to chase, but it's going to be Stake there first. Zamway lurking. Flicks it up over one. Scrub Killer helps it onto the backboard, and a lovely pass to Hibbs is going to go all the way down the other side of the pitch. Right back to Stake, right back to square one, and he loses possession immediately. Zamway isn't able to get a touch there. Itachi has to clean up, but not before Scrub Killer comes onto the scene himself. It's getting better and better for Singularity. Vodafone Giants starting to panic. It's Scrub Killer again. Gets closed down, picks it up once more, got a little bit more boost to work with. Blocks it, and Hibbs was bumped out the way. Zamway, great game reading there to ensure that no shot came off his front bumper.
That was a fantastic bump in. That looked like it was game over for Giants. That bump coming at the perfect time. And with 30 seconds left, again, looking at the shots, Singularity have had 4, Giants have had 9, and it's remained 0-0. Giants definitely seeming to be a little bit desperate as time goes on, but that's a great reader again. Not there, it's on target. The save from Scrub keeps them out. Giants, they keep asking questions, but they don't have the answer. The lead at stake. Of all the shots that have gone in, or could have gone in, this is the one. Stake just with the drop down. Itachi fortunately didn't need to touch it, and it seems to have been enough to fake them out.
You know what, Aiden? Scrub Killer did exactly the right thing. He did exactly the right thing. He was expecting Itachi to get a little flick onto that, and he would have been in the perfect place to save it. Oh my goodness!
No.
Oh, it's a buzzer beater off the kickoff! And Hibbs and Breezy combine again. Scrub Killer's defensive heroics are not in vain. We go to overtime, and Giants cannot get Singularity off their back.
You just got to hold on for a few seconds, boys. That's all you had to do. Giants, if this doesn't rattle them, I would be very impressed. If they come through this game, but it is now open at the back. Stake on the end of the net. Scrub Killer couldn't get control. Great flick by Itachi. Saw the challenge coming from Breezy. Now the redirect, it's on target. But Scrub is there again. And Singularity holding down the fort. Is it going to be enough to take the series here in game 4? Giants very, very frustrated at the moment. Stake is there. Infield pass denied by Breezy. As they now retreat, the double commit coming out. This could be awkward. It's actually looking for Stake. Breezy going to bump him out of the play. Will get a touch, though. He's managed to stay with that ball. Samuel just waiting for this one. And that first touch was very, very poor. That 50's gone very well for him, though. It's actually there again. Denied once more by Breezy. And, well, a team full of solo players. And turns out, in defense, they are a fantastic team. Giants have not found their way through there in this first minute overtime. Once again, wondering how they haven't managed to do so.
They're playing a little bit differently, I'm noticing, Giants. They're actually going for setup and shot. Setup and shot. But the problem is that their setups have been quite easy to read so far for Singularity. Scrub Killer to beat Itachi in the midfield. But there's no follow-up here from Breezy. Stake looking for Zamway on the far side. He misses a connection, though. He's going to try and follow the ball, but again, runs out of boost and is forced to rotate back in. Scrub Killer off the top of the box. He's going to get that flip reset. He's going to keep it going. Zamway, 100 boost, finally meets him in the far corner. And Itachi going to bring it into the midfield for Breezy's going to get there. Yes, he is. Itachi a little bit too slow. Zamway is round the corner by Hibbs, and Itachi's going to move it over to the far side again. Stake is there. Finds the connection round the corner, but there's no one to follow through on these setups now. They're a little bit too wide. They need to be closer together, Vodafone Giants. Ironically enough, they need to go against the very style that has got them so much success in the first place. 2 minutes plus of overtime played. Scrub Killer, his passing field a little too high. Itachi deals with it well, and Breezy can only keep it at the mid. He has a lot of boost to work with, though. Zamway stopped, but there we go. Stake there to bail him out, and into the blue half it goes once more.
Well, we're reaching almost 2.5 minutes in this overtime. And right now, Scrub Killer sitting on 6 saves. Before this series started, I was talking with yourself and some of the other casters about how I'm really not a big fan of Scrub Killer, but he has shown today he can do what is needed at the back, and 6 saves going to be very, very important today. Hibbs going to play this one up with the follow, doubling off the ceiling. Breezy's there with the follow. Fantastic save by Stake. I don't know how he's managed to read that. Scrub Killer there with the pressure. Samurai just about gets something on it. Singularity now with the onslaught, putting Giants under siege. Hibbs is in again. Very, very quick from Singularity. Breezy to try and find a way over Samurai. Will parry that out wide, but Stake tries to take control. Trying to go into that 50 on Scrub Killer. Won't win it as Hibbs is allowed to come into the challenge. It's not a good clear from Samurai. The drop down from Scrub Killer. Looking for someone in the center, but there's a breakaway here. It's not on target. State's messed it up, and that open net miss could be very, very crucial in the swing of things here in game 4. 3.5 minutes into this overtime. It remains at 1-1, and neither team finding that go-ahead goal. Has Itachi got it in him? Fantastic bit of work there, a bit of magic that they needed, but again, saved by Scrub Killer.
Oh, what a game! What a series! Did anyone have this on their best series of the day card? I don't necessarily think so. We've got to give so much credit to the Giants there. That was so much good pressure from Singularity, and they held on with minimal boost. Samway, it's a shot towards net. Another save from Scrub Killer. How many is he going to have racked up after the course of today? He's finally run out of boost, and Zamway palms it back into midfield. Almost like a volleyball match at this point. Set up, spike. Set up, spike. The question is, who's going to hit that ball to the ground first? Zamway has to go up. Oh, and he gets a good read on it as well. Hibbs lying in wait, though, in the shadows. Scrub Killer taking out Zamway. He's going to have to respawn. Tation out of whack currently. But Zamway able to pick up the boost and able to get the clearance as well. They got confused in what they wanted to do, Singularity. It's Zamway. It's Zamway! What a goal on his own. Mechanical God. 4 minutes, 34 gone. And we're heading to game 5.
It's only taken them 20 shots to find 2 goals. I mean, I think you jinxed this series the moment we started talking about shot percentages. Singularity, oh, they can't shoot and score, not a third. No, apparently it's Giants. Apparently Giants. But that defense from Team Singularity, I think they went in. Scrub Killer said, you know what the strategy is today, boys? We're going to build a wall and we're going to make Giants pay for it. And with those 8 saves, he is showing exactly what he means with that.
But you know what? As much as I've been quick to say Team Singularity, your defense has been brilliant. When Vodafone Giants, there were so many questions of that defense asked, and especially around the 2-minute marker of overtime, they had little boost to work with, precious little, and their rotations were what saved them. They really came in clutch with some great reads, some great plays. I'm thinking of that Zamway bump, for example, that stopped, I think it was Breezy from having a straight shot at net, and ultimately that is what saved them. Yes, it took an individual effort through Zamway to break the deadlock, but here they are, Aiden. They're at game 5 with all the momentum, and Team Singularity, they have a lot to be proud of, but they've just got to take that final extra step to put this Spanish squad away. What a game 5 in prospect.
It is absolutely mental game 4. Both of these teams were, for periods of the game, under immense pressure. You said it, the low boost plays, the rotating, the positioning, because you only need 12 boosts to make a save, but you do need to be in the right place at the right time with the right amount of momentum. And it seemed to be always the case, apart from the 3 goals that did find a way through. But given the amount of shooting that went on, the amount of saves, the amount of blocks, crucial plays from both teams. And this game 5, if it's anything like the last, will be incredibly spicy.
A series deserving of Champions Field. Is it Scrub Killer's time? He's denied. Reezy over the top of one, not going to get past Zamway. Big save from the tiebreaker, and look at that, Breezy still in the danger zone, bumps Itachi out the way, and it's Hibbs and Breezy again. This combination working wonders.
I mean, just finding that way through. And Singularity take the lead again. And you said it, once Singularity take a lead, it's hard for Giants to find that way back. They can turtle up now. They can defend the way they did in game 4. All the saves, they have showed they know how to defend. They know how to get the blocks. Giants now trailing, backs against the wall. It's game 5. They do have 4 minutes to go. It's plenty of time, but can't waste any of it. Precious 4 minutes. And Singularity, well, they're still going to come forward here. They're still going to try to find that comfort, that cushion. Only got the 1. They will want a second because they know that just 1 goal isn't enough against Giants.
Oh, bumps plenty. Oh, hello. There was attempted bumps and more attempted bumps, and Zamway and Itachi somehow able to fashion their way out of the defense. Stake. And Giants now very much on the back foot. Breezy there infield, looking for more bumps. They know how to rattle this squad. Beautiful pass back. Shot goes wide from Scrub Killer. Here's Itachi now. Gets that block, but Breezy keeps the forward momentum going. Zamway, Itachi has to get a touch on it. He does. Here goes Scrub Killer. Gets there first. Scrub Killer not able to get the touch, but Breezy's there. Tries to shoot low. Tries to shoot near post, and still can't squirrel it in. 2-0 was there for Singularity. They weren't able to take it. Are they going to regret that come 3 minutes?
Well, it's an opportunity missed, but Zamway just somehow seemingly able to extend himself there for that save. I'm not sure how, maybe had a word with Inspector Gadget, and that one, Scrub Killer's denied that. It was in the upper 90. Perfect placement, maybe quite enough power, but you can't really wrong that shot. It's Scrub Killer again, denying Giants, and that wall holding true. Stake to himself, can't find it over Breezy. That ball going to remain in the midfield. Hibbs taking a pop at net, but that was a little bit of a weak effort. Zamway trying to look for Itachi, but Itachi finding himself backwards to the play. And Giants, it's a bit of desperation coming out as Singularity keep coming forward, keep the pressure on. Breezy's here to the corner again, and they are, again, Singularity, you see them there, sitting back with 2 players, not committing too many people forward. The solo play is going to be important for them. But all they want to do is keep this ball in the Giants' half, because as long as it remains there, they're safe.
I'll say this much. I know there's a number of fans in chat, and I have been one of his longest and hardest critics. Scrub Killer's having a massive game. He's having a massive series. He's having a mature series. He might not be doing much in the offense, but what he's doing is he's giving Hibbs and Breezy a foundation block to build off. And look at the scoreline. We're game 5. Singularity potentially moving on in the losers bracket. It is working. And I'm glad to see that these 3 are potentially finding a route forward. Big clearance from Breezy. It's 1v1 round the corner. Massive, massive touch from Stake. Back into the midfield it goes. They're forced back to square one, our Vodafone Giants. But they can't be forced back to square one too many more times, Aiden, because we've got just over 60 seconds left. Is it going to be a 1-0 scoreline? Is it going to be a Jose Mourinho special here from Team Singularity? Or is there going to be one final breakthrough for Vodafone Giants to take it to a final Game 5 overtime?
I mean, we as a non-biased parties would love a Game 5 overtime, but right now, Singularity, they look in control. And indeed, that Scrub Killer, I've said it about him many times, he's an arrogant player. He doesn't care for others scoring, but he's shown a very different side to him as he's left it for Breezy. And he doubles the lead, 40 seconds left to go, and Giants seemingly without an answer to all of the Singularity questions. 2-0, Game 5, and Singularity holding all the cards.
And for those astute watchers amongst you, you will know that the boost had been evaporating exactly like what we saw in overtime 5 minutes ago. Zamway, beautiful connection, but Stake just a little bit behind, the pass a little bit too heavy. They have to find a goal very quickly indeed, Vodafone Giants, but I don't think they're going to find it. If they do find one, how they're going to find 2 is beyond me right now. Itachi infield, Stake, is there one there? No, Scrub Killer again. Guess who? The man has truly put on the superhero costume for Singularity, and he has said, no more, no more. Giants, bye-bye. 3-0, Game 5 victory, and Giants are out of the major.
And that is unbelievable. Giants, who arguably have been one of the top 2, top 3 teams going into this major, they get knocked out by the grid wildcard team Singularity. And Scrub Killer, well, he's proving his critics wrong. And I know you said it yourself, critic of Scrub Killer. I've long time been a Scrub Killer critic, and today I've actually been very impressed by him. This is a completely new leaf for him. Seeing him defend this way, to forego the ego of being the man that has to chase all the time and score all the goals and have the offensive impact. Now he showed that he can be the star of the show while sitting back and making all the saves, because he laid a foundation in front of his net. He kept Giants out, and well, it's really, really shown to be the difference maker.